Shameless Season 3 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am, and rewatching or watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And while I never did reviews of Shameless on this channel when the show was airing, I did do a Shameless series finale rant video when the series finale of Shameless aired. So if you've seen every single season and every single episode of Shameless and want to hear me complain about the series finale, then click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video. That's the end screen. You'll hear my thoughts, as well as other videos down there, and right here. Different playlists and different videos. But anyways, this will be Shameless Season 3, Episode 11. The title of this episode is called Order Room Service. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode last evening. Fiona startles Jimmy in the morning and says he looks like a baby rabbit when he sleeps. Lip never came to bed last night, says Mandy Malkovich. Liam took a dump on the big boy toilet. Yay, Liam! Woo! Okay. Frank is sleeping on the bus. Another homeless person says Frank is a terrible homeless person, okay? Mike invites Fiona camping. Of course, everybody else is allowed to come. Estefania calls Jimmy about a broken shoe. That is the least of Jimmy's worries. Beto opens up Jimmy's mail and knows about the Michigan thing and knows that he wants to go back to medical school. Frank talks to Carl about getting beat with the retribution stick by his mom when he was younger. Carl talks to him about sleeping in the van, like he can get him in the van, and Frank would appreciate that because he has nowhere else to go and Fiona doesn't necessarily want him in the house. Ian shows up at the place the wedding of Mickey and Svetlana will be at. Mandy complains to Ian about Lip still paying too much attention to Karen. Mandy, you're just going to have to let that go. Fiona finds out Jimmy got a one-bedroom studio apartment. Karen is back home already. I mean, she got hit pretty hard and pretty brutal, but yet she's home 2 episodes later. Like, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me. She slams down a smoothie. Karen seems nicer, Sheila says. Fiona's furious that Jimmy made the decision to move to Michigan. Jimmy says there was never a we. Jimmy calls the Gallagher place a slum, and Fiona, really pissed now, says go find another slum. Carl tells Frank he's his family. Frank says, that's right, son. You haven't let me down yet. I'm sure Carl will get pissed at Frank eventually. And then Carl mentions to Frank about the nice stuff that his foster dads had when he was briefly in that foster home with Liam. Fiona puts on a front and lets everybody know they're going camping. Like she's like laying in bed and she's like, okay, breathe. I'm not mad. Okay, everybody, we're going camping. Karen talks to Sheila, more like Sheila does most of the talking, and Karen just keeps asking, where's Jody? So it's obvious that Karen isn't all there anymore. She's not the same Karen anymore. And Jody arrives with Jaime, and Karen's happy, or is she? Fiona leaves with Debbie and Liam for camping. Lip doesn't go because of the wedding thing. Ian doesn't go because of the wedding thing. And, of course, Carl says that he's sick, so he doesn't go either. And then Mandy, with my nose itches, tells Lip that they haven't had sex in over a week. And Lip lets Mandy bone him, and he calls Kev in the downstairs bathroom to tell him he fucked up when Kev had told him earlier in the episode, which I didn't mention, that you don't want to give her sex. And then Mandy opens the bathroom door and tells Lip not to bother coming to the wedding, like she's pissed, she's had enough of it. Beto offers Jimmy a ride, and Nando is in the Escalade. That is, of course, Estefania's father. Ian's upset that Mickey is actually getting married. He says, don't do this. Mickey says it's just a piece of paper, and Ian says it's more to me. And then Ian and Mickey, as my nose has got something in it, or something like that, or I shouldn't do cocaine before I do videos. Okay, better now. Then Ian and Mickey start getting it on right before Mickey's wedding. Carl draws or is drawing Frank a map of his former foster parents' place, and he has like the alarm code and everything. Nando and Jimmy go to eat, and Nando is the only one eating as Jimmy just doesn't want anything. And then Nando informs Jimmy that Estefania is being deported and that she tried to call Jimmy because the people were there from immigration, but Jimmy didn't answer that particular phone call due to the fact that Estefania called him about a broken shoe. So yeah, so Nando says what's done is done, and it will be dealt with. Oh boy. Mike tells Fiona he's never been to a strip club. Oh, I've been to 5, and 2 of them are 6, and 2 of them I've been to probably 200 times a piece. Maybe not that much, but it's a lot. Anyway, Mike tells Fiona, "You better behave yourself because I'm way too drunk to not invite you back to my tent right now." And then Fiona kisses Mike, and Mickey is still going to go through with the wedding, even after what he just did with Ian. Carl and Frank get into the foster parents' house. They have a field day with all the stuff that they can fit. Fiona has second thoughts during foreplay. What am I doing? Mike mentions he has a wife, ex-wife, just got divorce just went through last week. Without a hitch, son, you did good, as Frank and Carl celebrate their robbery. Lit goes to visit Karen again. Turns out Karen is moving to Arizona with Jody, Sheila tells Lip. Lip talks to Karen about some old memories. He tells Karen, Mandy did this. I want you to remember that Mandy Malkovich did this to you. Mandy Malkovich did this to you. And of course, like I already mentioned, Karen isn't all there. And he asks her who did this to her, and she doesn't know. And then she's like, hey, want a snack? She keeps talking about the snacks. So she has very short, selective memory, and she can't remember everything that's being said to her. So Lip goes to the wedding, furious, and tells Mandy off in front of everyone. But unfortunately for Lip, she's already there with another date and just swallowed his load before they started dancing. We see that Ian's really trashed due to the fact that Mickey is still going through with this marriage to Svetlana. Beto wants Jimmy to get out of the Escalade. They're at the dock by where Nando's boat is, and Jimmy wants to make a phone call real quick. That's not allowed, and Jimmy's phone gets thrown in the ocean, lake, whatever it is. And then we have Carl being arrested for the robbery of the 2 dads, and then Frank comes out and says that he did the heist. It was all him, and took complete blame for it. And Lip can't believe it. Hell froze over as Frank actually stood up and was there for his kid. And then we have the Fiona calling Jimmy and apologizing on his voicemail. Says, we can make this work. And you're right, we do live in a slum. And that's what ends this episode of Shameless. So pretty good episode. I'm really enjoying these episodes of Shameless now. I know that eventually they'll start getting shitty. But right now I'm really, really enjoying these. And some of it, while I've seen all the episodes, I binged it. So stuff didn't stick where it happens. So yeah, I'm expecting so much and stuff hasn't happened yet. So it's going to be interesting. As far as this episode's score, I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. And my characters of the episode, I'm going to give the male one to Jimmy as well as Steve. Well, he's Jimmy Steve in this episode because Nando and Beto know him as Steve. And then female character of the episode, I'm going to give to Fiona. I think they were solid, although you could make a case for Frank being the male character of the episode, but Jimmy was more of a focus in my opinion. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of Shameless and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash that like button. I'll wait. Share the video with anybody you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. If you deem it something that you want to share, don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are in this episode of Shameless. What would you score it, and whom would be your male and female characters of the episode, as my nose is starting to itch again. Remember to click right here for my Shameless series finale rant video. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.